Good morning. The topic I decided to educate viewers on today is something I hold dear to myself, and we also hold dear to us within the UPS culture, which is safe driving. So it's only fitting that the title for my presentation today is Driving to Save Lives. With UPS owning over 100,000 vehicles, delivering over 4.9 billion packages, and servicing over 8.7 million customers, according to thepressroom.com, safety has to be our number one priority, not just for ourselves, but for others on the road. The 5 safe driving habits I'm going to go over today is a system that was developed and proven by UPS to greatly reduce the risk of accidents and the injuries that go along with them. The first one I'm going to go over today is aiming high and steering. Aiming high and steering. How do you do it? In order to aim high and steering, you must have 8 to 12 seconds worth of eye lead time, which means you're looking 8 to 12 seconds up the road, finding an imaginary target and pretending to drive your car straight into it. Now, what does that do for you? It'll help you find a safe path on turns well ahead. With 8 to 12 seconds, you have plenty of time to decide which lane you're going to take in order to turn. Also, it helps you center your car in the traffic lane. A good phrase I like to remember with aiming high and steering is find a safe path well ahead. Now, after you aim high and steering, the next rule that we like to follow is making sure that you get the big picture. Get the big picture. How do you do it? You want to know how wide, how deep, what's in it, objects, and grounds. You're on the survey for hazards out there while you're driving. You're looking for pedestrians. You're also looking for intersections and making sure that you clear them. And you want to know what billboards are around. Things you can't see over, around, or through in case you need to make adjustments. Now, what does that do for you? It keeps you away from billboards. It keeps you away from hazards. Also, it helps you make smooth stops and turns when you're approaching an intersection. A key phrase I like to stand by is make sure you stay back and make sure you see it all. After I get the big picture, the third rule of driving is making sure that you keep your eyes moving. Let's go check out the next slide. Keep your eyes moving. How do you do it? Sounds self-explanatory. What are our rules to follow with that also? Making sure that every 2 seconds you're checking in front of your car so you know everything that's going on. And every 5 to 8 seconds you want to make sure you're checking your rearview mirrors to see if anything has changed. What does that do for you? It keeps you alive at intersections and also keeps your eyes moving ahead of your car so you know exactly what's going on. Key phrase I like to use when I think about keeping my eyes moving is scan, never stare. So, with that being said, the fourth rule that we're going to go over next is making sure you're leaving yourself an out. Leave yourself an out. How do you do it? You always have to have an escape route when you're out there, and make sure you're taking the path of least resistance. What does that do for you? It gives you space on all 4 sides of your vehicle at all times, but always in the front. So make sure you always have enough space in front in case you need to make adjustments. Someone in front of you might abruptly stop. You want to make sure you have enough time that you can adjust and that you're not slamming on your brakes. Key phrase I like to remember when I think of leaving myself an out is be prepared and expect the unexpected. The 5th rule that we're going to go over is making sure that they see you. Let's go to the next slide. The 5th and final rule is making sure that they see you. How do you do it? You must communicate in traffic. Use your horns, lights, and your signals. Using your horn helps you make eye-to-eye contact with the other drivers and fellow pedestrians, and then they'll act in a reasonable, predictable manner once you guys are looking at each other. Also, your signals are vital. You have to put them on well in advance so that everyone can make adjustments and know what you're going to do. The key phrase I like to use and I like to remember is don't gamble, use your horn, lights, and signals. Now, finally, last rule we're going to go over is in-cab distractions. It's not a rule, but it's something we live and die by UPS. Let's go to the next slide. In-vehicle distractions. What are they? Well, in-vehicle distractions is anything that might take your attention away from what you're doing while you're out there driving. Eating, smoking, drinking, and also cell phone usage. According to USA Today, cell phone usage is attributed to 1 out of every 4 auto accidents in the United States. So therefore, it's vital for us to limit our in-cab distractions. In conclusion, a good acronym I like to use when remembering the 5 good seeing habits is all good kids like milk. Make sure that you're aiming high and steering, get the big picture, keep your eyes moving, leave yourself an out, and make sure they see you. And most importantly, make sure you're limiting your in-cab distractions. Thanks for watching my presentation.